Captain's log, stardate 54427.7. The Hadfield is en route to Starbase 211. It's been a little over a month since the events unfolded at Vulcan, and our travel up to this point has been relatively smooth. Upon arrival at Starbase, we are set to receive further orders from High Command. End log. Balls.
Yeah.
Balls to the walls.
Okay, so, as has been said, I'll throw you guys to the map real quick. You guys have been en route to Starbase 211 for the past few weeks. You've passed through rather safe Federation space, and you are finally approaching what could be
a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff here. Last said, before the whole Archon incident occurred, your orders were to proceed to Starbase 120. Your original orders were to.
I guess I'm the GM now.
Your
GM, hello?
Huh?
Are you alive? Okay, you are. Okay.
Your original orders were to proceed from Deep Space Nine, then to 310, then to where you're going now, 211, then along to Starbase 47, 129, and 214.
Are we doing just like a check in on all of the
yeah,
or what's going on, like a patrol?
Huh?
Are we doing like a patrol or what's going on?
Currently, it was just your orders to proceed along the Federation side of the demilitarized zone. You didn't have any particular specific orders. This is something they do quite a bit in this kind of thing, where you're just sort of given a vague instructions to be to this star base by this star date. Further orders will be given to you.
Yeah, that is vague.
But it happens. It's sort of a it's how they tend to do these sort of things.
I'm a bit confused on the map where we are. Are we? We're this one, right? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah. I haven't figured out how to put names on these things yet.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Because I know you can. Because the Tereshkova has a name tag on it. Anyhow, I just wanted to sort of update you on your standing orders, so to speak. I'm gonna throw us to the bridge for the moment, unless someone else has something they would like to do.
This is your time now to zone in.
Hey, let's go make that warp core better.
Yeah, let's do that. So in that case, I'm gonna pull us down to so many maps. Engineering. There we go.
Okay.
And throw. Even though the player is not here, Valak is in engineering. But he's not working at the core right now. However, Tizonin, you are.
Yes. I am on the floor, yes. So, what am I supposed to roll again?
This is a... Hang on. Let me just do a thing that'll... There we go. This is a reason... it would be engineering, but as flight control officer, you get... you have a special thing that lets you substitute your con for your engineering.
Okay. So...
and the ship assists with computers engineering. And I start the episode with 10 threat.
Do I roll for Valak as well?
No, we are not rolling for Valak because he's not here, and you did not succeed.
Because he
unless
uses
you,
a computer.
Wait, I'm counting that first one.
Okay.
And wait a second, you would have been rolling with your con instead of your engineering. So I have to ask, do you... yes, warp field dynamics does count as a focus, and that is a 3, so that would be 2 successes.
So, are we good?
That's 3. That is 3 successes. You get to roll 4 challenge... no, not 4, 6 challenge dice. That's... it had 2 resistance, so that is 6 work!
Huzzah!
That is 6... That is... I'm sorry, that's... No. That isn't 6 work. That is only 4 work. Because it has resistance. So that's not a breakthrough, but that is some good work. You're back to 7, which is where you were before you had that setback.
Outstanding.
As you have been plugging away rather steadily for the past month on theoretical warp equations. Let's just say you figured out where you went wrong with that last one. You had some good ideas, but let me see. Hang on. I want to make sure of one thing. This is... what's the star date I gave you?
544
Okay,
7.7.
Then, okay, yeah, it's one of those things of, you had some ideas of how to improve warp capability, but then you found some reports that were sent in, because this is something that happened recently. Starfleet got back in touch with Voyager.
Woo!
And Voyager has been doing essentially data dumps of their logs back to Starfleet Command, and those have been rather heavily scrutinized. And they've done some pretty impressive work in warp field dynamics that rendered a couple of your ideas obsolete. Like, as in, if we do that, we end up turning into weird lizard things. Huh.
Yeah, that's classic Voyager.
Yeah, one of the worst episodes of Trek, in my opinion.
Just,
That
huh.
was such a weird episode, bro.
So the Doctor is made out of photons, right? So he wouldn't be affected. And he created an anti-lizard transformation juice. So why not just everyone get on the warp 10 shuttle, warp to Earth, everyone turns into lizards, and then the Doctor fixes everyone and you're at Earth.
Hey, quit making with the sense.
You okay
Man,
there?
you're killing yourself with that logic.
I'm sorry for ranting. I just that episode's bad.
Yeah.
Too much logic.
So, you've gotten some work done though. Nothing super conclusive, but it is a start. It's one of those after that setback you had where the Voyager records kind of rendered some of your ideas obsolete. You've gone back to the drawing board on some of those, and you've come up with some ideas that the Voyager records don't contradict. It's still going to take time though. And so, you continue to work. Is there anything else anyone wants to do?
Can I modify a hand phaser?
Haven't you already done that?
I
think
modified
he did
my
his
rifle.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yes, I can do my rifle and give vicious too.
I mean, you might as well, right?
Yeah,
Double
okay.
up.
If you want to do that. Oh boy. Let me just quickly think about how I got to remember how you do these, because I wasn't expecting to start a new one of these today. Give me a sec. It's fine. It is a thing that we can totally do. I just have to remember how we do it. I gotta find the section. It's Zen and the Art of Warp Core Maintenance. This is one of my favorite titles for a section. Yeah. Where are you? It'll be in the index. Oh, my book is falling apart.
Sad times.
Core maintenance 159 to 160, I think, is the page. Here it is. High energy power systems. Is that it? Yeah, here it is. High energy power systems. Okay. I just gotta remember how you do this. Almost got it.
No problem.
I gotta quickly read the section again. Technology, blah 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 blah. They do not focus on that. Times of the essence. So gated. The following changes. Okay, so here's how we do this then. Okay. So you're gonna select 3 focuses relating to how you want to do this, how you want to improve the phaser. Then you're gonna make a roll, and I will tell you if you picked a correct focus. One of those 3 focuses will be the right way, one will be an out of the box way, and one will be the wrong way. If you pick the wrong way, I immediately get a little threat, and you don't make any progress.
Now, do these have to be focuses that I have, or just focuses for the...
I believe it can be any focus, because, again, the book is really not good at explaining it. It is one of those things that I know, it's one of the questions that I've seen asked the most of the devs, is how does this work exactly? And I've yet to see a concrete answer. So I'll say you can pick pretty much any focus.
Okay, so just pick 3?
Yeah, pick 3.
High energy physics, particle physics, and plasma, high energy plasma.
Okay. What are the 3 you picked?
High energy physics, high energy plasma, and particle physics.
Okay. High energy physics, particle physics. Okay. Okay. I know which I'm going with then.
Okay.
Just tell me which focus you want to start working on.
I guess I will go with the plasma.
The plasma. Okay. Give me a reason engineering difficulty 2 check.
Okay.
And I'll allow the ship to assist with computers engineering as with Tizonin.
Can I give you a threat for an extra die?
Sure. I will gladly.
What about me?
And yeah, I'll just take that as is.
What does the ship assist with again?
Computers engineering.
Alright, I'm gonna roll that.
Nice. You generate a momentum. So you're working on it, and then you come to the obvious realization there, Jueza. Oh wait, phasers don't use plasma. Duh. So yeah, you're on the wrong track with that.
Okay.
Actually, don't think I get any threat out of that. I misread. It's only when you're doing the scientific method that I get threat for you picking the wrong path.
Okay. So do I do it again, or do I?
No, that was it for the episode.
Okay.
You get one of the. You get to do one of these per episode.
So then next time, do I do it again to try to figure out if it's high energy physics or?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
And that'll more or less just be to you'll. It means you'll probably get it tomorrow either way. Or you'll get it next time either way. The question will just be whether you pick the right way or the out of the box way,
Okay.
because they'll do different things.
Well, at least I got a momentum.
Okay. So back in main engineering, Tizonin, and I forgot I'll put on the ambience for our engineering section. You're standing, you're just finishing up and are about to leave. You look over and you see an ensign just sort of say, Commander, are you okay? And they're not talking to you. They appear to be talking to Valak.
Wait, why are they?
Huh?
Teresa. All right.
Sorry.
So somebody asks, "Are you okay?" But they're talking to Falak and not me.
Yes.
What's wrong with Falak?
You look at Valak, and he just sort of has a hand to his head. He just sort of seems to be shaking. He looks forward. And then... Schlump.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, he's dead. Oh.
Well,
Oh,
that's
wow.
just the he is out. Commander,
All right, run over him. Make sure he's still alive.
give me an insight medicine difficulty 1 check.
I have to roll that to see if he has a pulse.
Nice.
Does he have a pulse?
What focus did you use?
Oh, crap. I don't know. Physical therapy, would that work?
I'll say no. So you only got 1 success. That's still enough. He's alive, but he seems to be sort of spasming a little.
Okay. Trip my comm badge and go to zone into infirmary. Got a medical emergency down in engineering.
I'll be on my way. I'll grab a first aid kit and come down to Susie.
Okay. So you immediately head up to main engineering. Hang on. And yeah, Valak is on the floor, and he sort of seems to be writhing a little.
Excuse me. to a lieutenant?
I don't know. He held his head and then he fell down.
Alright, I'll flip open my tricorder and get down one scan and see if I can detect it.
Give me an insight medicine difficulty 2 check.
Does emergency medicine?
Yes, it does.
Situation? So,
Oof.
oof.
He appears to be having some kind of, I don't know, best you can tell it's a seizure?
And, does Valak have, like, assuming I've read, his medical files, does he have epilepsy or anything? Or a history of seizures?
You can't remember anything like that being in his file immediately, but it could be buried in there somewhere. You'd have to reread it. It's been a little while since you've read Valak's medical files. You know how these Vulcans are. They tend not to care too much about their medical files and medical appointments.
Yeah, okay. We need to get him to we need to get him to sick bay. I can't detect what's wrong with him from here. It seems like he's had a seizure. Does he look like he's safe to carry to sick bay? Or should I call for an emergency transfer?
What you could do is, I'd allow it with, not the advanced medical bay, but, because you're the chief medical officer on the ship, you have, the advantage of having a medical staff.
Mhm.
And you can be flanked by, a couple of medical staff who will bring him on a stretcher.
Alright. Yeah, I will tap my communicator, and call for, 2 medical assistants to bring down a stretcher. And then I guess I'll call the captain.
Yeah, it is. I will say it is a good thing that. Well, not good, but it's. I'd almost said it might be a bit of a relief to you that Tizonin calling for a medical emergency. He's not the one in need of fixing up this time.
What do you mean?
Because last time on the Hadfield, to sort of give you a rundown, Tizonin almost got lethally phaser shotted to death.
Oh.
And yeah, you had to patch him up after that. It was not a fun time for all involved. He was probably in bed for like a week.
They just wouldn't let me die. They had to pick me up and take me down to the infirmary. It was ridiculous.
Right, I will tap my communicator, and try and, reach the captain.
Captain, up on the bridge, your command chair console chirps.
This is the captain. Go ahead.
This is CMO Maselli. Commander Valak appears to have collapsed in main engineering. I don't quite know what's wrong with him yet, but I just wanted to let you know we're taking him to sick bay now.
I see. Understood, Doctor. Keep me informed. Captain Jacoby out, and I'm going to return to my sandwich.
Yes, sir. All right.
So, hang on. Let me do the thing. As just because it works. Both of your nurse practitioners follow in behind you. Say, orders, doctor?
Excuse me?
Orders, doctor?
Yes. Can you carry? Sorry, I cannot speak. Yes, can you carry Commander Valak to sickbay? We need to run tests on him. He collapsed unexpectedly.
Understood. And they both go up to either side of him. And hang on. Come on, let me click on things. No, I don't want to click on the background. You know, I can make this the map. Oh, I can make this on the map layer. And why is there a grid on the map layer? I don't want a grid on the map layer. Oh my god. Everything is... and then I want you, and all. And they carry him out, and the door closes. So now you are essentially left in engineering with Zonin.
I assumed I would just come with them if there's something else to do.
Yeah, if there's nothing else, you're totally free to go to medbay.
Yeah, I'll go to sickbay and try and run more tests on him there.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna jump over to... Where is it?
Bless.
Papa bless.
What?
I
He
sneezed.
sneezed.
Ah. You're not there, and you're not there. Malak, you are there. And... they both put him on the table, and as soon as he's essentially not settled in, but as soon as one of the two, as soon as Lieutenant Zerothrak is essentially quote unquote assigned to him, Lieutenant Raki goes off elsewhere in the med bay.
Alright, yeah. And then can I use the, what is it called? What's the term for the medical beds?
The biobeds?
Biobeds.
Biobeds, yeah. Can I use the sensors on that bed to see what's
Yeah,
wrong?
let me quickly see how this goes. 'Cause this is actually a... let me look at the, Come on, where's the sciences book? Because there is actually, like, a thing about what the biobeds do. Like, they actually do something. Let me just find it real quick. Biobed, that only relates to... That only relates to things like, surgery.
So I just have to use my, tricorder again?
What?
The biobed only relates to surgery, so I just have to use the tricorder again?
Yeah, so... you actually don't pull out a, tricorder in this case. Actually, no, yes, tricorder. Tricorder in this case, because you don't know exactly what's going on.
Okay.
Give me Insight Medicine, difficulty of 2. Now that you're... actually, no, difficulty of 3, I'm going to spend a couple threat. But you're assisted in this case by the ship's sensors medicine.
And take a momentum as well, so you roll 3 dice.
And the difficulty goes back down to 2 because of advanced sensors.
Okay, well, you got
Well,
it.
I
Now
just
gotta
got...
roll sensors met.
Okay,
Yeah, well, I just got this one. Momentum. Did I get two?
We got 2 momentum.
got 2 momentum.
Good job.
As yes, as has been saying, this is definitely some kind of seizure. You can't pin down exactly what set it off. Now knowing for certain, it's not as, because now that you're in medbay, you can take a look at it on the terminal right here. He doesn't have anything like that. No history of seizures or epilepsy. This is completely out of the blue. What this could be, but it's something definitely onset a seizure, and it's not good. It is you need to get him stabilized.
Okay. Do I need to roll to know how to do that, or do I already know how to stabilize him?
Your training would mean you know how to do that. It's just a matter of doing it.
Okay. Sure. Well, let's do that then.
This will be a daring medicine, because you're currently in the process of trying to, you have to mix a few hyposprays together. That's not hard. It's the matter of getting him to take it while he's struggling like this.
Okay, have a momentum.
Yep.
So it will be daring medicine, difficulty of 3. I'm going to spend a threat to increase the complication range. And
Does emergency medicine apply?
yes, emergency medicine will apply here. The ship will not be assisting you with this.
Alright. Alright. Nurse, hold it down. I'm going to try and give him this hypospray.
Would you like... yeah, okay. I'd say you probably don't even have to spend the crew support then.
Oh, no, I was just being, using
Yes,
narrative. Anyways,
Jesus wept, you rolled a 1 and a... Whoa.
cinematically speaking, yes, this is what
How
happens
much
here.
momentum did we generate?
I said it was difficulty 3, so...
So, 2. So, yeah, we're up to 3. I took us from 1 to 3.
As... hang on, do I? I think I do. And after a couple more seconds of writhing, Volok sort of settles down, and you can hear the hum of the biobed.
So, he seems to have stabilized?
He's stabilized.
Awesome. Do we know what caused it?
No, not right. Not right now. It was you were getting some real weird readings from your tricorder there, very fluctuating readings. It was all you could do to figure that he was having a seizure. I mean, you could kind of tell from physical examination that that's what was going on, but the fact that your tricorder was giving you all these anomalous readings was making a full diagnosis a little difficult. Because it's like, okay, looks like he's having a seizure, but my tricorder is giving me some weird readings. If this was just a seizure, it'd be saying he's having a seizure.
Alright. Can I do anything to try and find out what caused it?
Yes you can. And while you start in on that, we are going to move up to the bridge and to a new scene.
Huh?
So,
I know what that means. You don't have to tell me. It sounds bad enough just hearing it.
Jaweza, you get a notification on your terminal. The captain is receiving a priority 2 message.
Sir, you're receiving a priority 2 message.
Who, Chief?
Starbase 211.
Starbase 211, sir.
Computer, remind me, what is priority 2 again? For my eyes only?
I think priority 2 is your eyes only, but it's I think it's a little less pressing than priority 1, but it's I'm trying to think of like the best way to put it. It's one of
I'm,
those.
no, I'm just wondering if
Yeah.
it's confidential or not. If I
well,
can play it in front of the crew.
I can't remember.
Priorities have to do with how urgent the message is, not how classified it is.
Yeah.
Priority 1 is as soon as you get it, open it. Priority 2 is you should get to this as soon as you can. Priority 3 is, hey, this is here if you have any free
Need
time.
it. Okay. Never mind. Chief, reroute it through my office. So I'll take it from there.
Yeah. And from what you know, it's at least for you, Captain. You kind of know that Priority 2 is one of those things that you get sent when really it should be Priority 1, but the powers that be just can't quite agree on whether or not it's Priority 1 enough.
Yeah, just get me to my ready room.
Yeah.
Copy. Rerouting to your waiting room. Oh, shoot. Did I just send that to 10 forward?
Okay.
God damn it.
So I'm gonna move you to your ready room. Yep. There you go.
Alright, I'll open up the console and let's see what this is all about.
Hang on. And you open the message, and a young man, maybe in his late 20s, appears on your screen. He has the commander picks.
Commander, so nice to see you. I'm Captain Jacoby. How can I help you?
I'm afraid I have some rather pressing orders for you, Captain. You're being diverted.
Where to, Commander?
We're sending you to Beta Z.
Beta Z. What's going on Beta Z?
Well, reports are early right now, so I suppose that's a good thing that we caught it now. Best case scenario, we're dealing with a small outbreak. Worst case scenario, a full-on epidemic, Captain.
A disease. Do we know the specifics?
Unfortunately, no. We've only just started getting in reports now. We're trying to scramble what medical assistance we can to give them to render aid. But, well, the planetary government has petitioned and has been approved for a planetary quarantine. We're organizing a full medical detail. Currently, the best we can do for now is send you. You're the closest ship to the region that has the medical facilities necessary to even begin figuring out what's going on there. But we're scrambling the USS Jita to your position as soon as possible.
Is it lethal, Commander?
Again, good news, not as far as we can tell.
Good. Well, that should give us some leeway while we get there. Rest assured, Commander, we will proceed to Beta Z at full warp immediately.
Of course, and this is only until we can get a full medical detail assigned to Beta Z. You'll be getting relief within the next few days. If this turns out to be a longer term disease than we hope. If this turns into a full-blown epidemic, we're going to recall you to Starbase 211 and let the full Starfleet medical get involved.
Understood. Commander, one more thing. Some of my crew may have family members or loved ones on Beta Z. Should I keep this under the rags for now?
I would suggest not doing so. This is not the kind of thing that we want to be keeping a secret.
Understood, Commander. A public announcement then to everyone that we're going to cure a disease, or at least try to. Understood.
Commander out.
Okay. Captain out as well. Okay. Now I'm gonna head back out onto the bridge. Yeet myself onto the bridge.
Yeet.
Okay, Lieutenant Zonin.
Yes, sir.
Change our course. Divert us to Beta Z, maximum warp. We are proceeding on. We have a disease to cure, gentlemen.
I'm not on the bridge though.
You're not.
We can have you. We can have. We can
Oh,
have
wait,
you.
there I am.
We can have you return to the bridge after the doctor.
Just kidding. I was under the chair this whole time.
Sorry.
Me, I was the turkey.
However, who is not on the bridge, get rid of him, is Lieutenant Biss, who is currently handling things down in engineering, trying to get everything under control.
All right, putting the course in, and off we go.
Good. Captain Jacoby to Dr. Maselli in the sickbay.
Yes, sir.
How is my commander looking?
Now I will say, Doctor, because I didn't state this particularly well. It has been about 8 hours since Valak collapsed.
What a time skip.
Yeah, he stabilized, sir, but, Jim, I assume he's not recovering for at least until the game's over, so
That's part of it, and also, yeah, you're having a whale of a time trying to figure out what did this to him. There will be some rolls to be made in a short while, just not this very second.
we're doing our best, sir. He's stabilized for the moment, but he will need a few days to recover.
Understood, Doctor. Prep the medbay and all security personnel and medical personnel in the medbay. We'll soon have We'll have to be investigating a disease on Beta Z. It seems there was an outbreak, and we're needed.
Do we know any of the symptoms of the disease, sir?
Hardly, but we know that it's not lethal, Doctor.
Okay. Yes, I will make the preparations immediately. Selling out.
Good. Ship, onward and away. To boldly go where no man has gone before.
I think plenty of men have gone to bed.
Oh, yes.
I'm just glad we're not attending the wedding there.
To boldly go where this man has not gone before.
Oh dear.
Damn straight.
Okay, so I assume the Zonin is going to plot course.
Yep.
Okay, give me reason con, difficulty of 3, assisted by the ship's computers con, to plan the optimal route.
I could use a focus called astronavigation.
Yes, you can. And do you have a talent for this? Because I know there's a talent for this. I just forget if you have it. I think you might.
Untapped potential, bold.
No, I'm sorry.
Pathfinder. Pathfinder.
I'm thinking Pathfinder, which I don't think does it. I don't think it's specifically for this, because I think Pathfinder is only for new and unexplored space. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll check.
Pathfinder. I thought we were playing Star
nope.
Trek.
Yeah, it specifically says unknown territory. So no. Okay. On the ship. Computers con. Just quickly see what the distance is from here. I just need to pull up the warp calculator real quick. It's TNG. distance that you're trying to travel is. It's more of a. I'll say 7 for the purposes of this. Oh no, I wanted time. Okay, that works. Okay. So, here's how I'll do this. You will currently be arriving at it, without any. Did you roll the ship?
What does the ship roll? Engines con. Give me 1 second. Here it goes.
Yep.
Engines
Oh, and don't forget, Tazonin, you can re-roll the ship.
Do we need to?
You don't need to. One. You get a momentum. Currently, as things stand, you are 2 days out from Beta Z. By succeeding at that roll, you've cut your travel time to a day and a half. If you make some good con rolls while en route, you can cut that down to a day. As you just absolutely put the pedal to the metal on this thing. So it's up to you whether or not you want to put the pedal to the metal, or if you want to play it safe.
Well, up to you to zone in. Or is it up to me?
Let's eat it.
Yeah, sure, I'm with them. Let's put the pedal to the metal.
Alrighty. This will... I'm not even going to spend any threat for this, because you specifically said you want to. This will have a heightened complication of 2. And will be daring con. I'm gonna say difficulty of 3, assisted by the ship's engines con.
Hey, what's your score for daring con? Oh, for fuck's sake! I wanted to give you more momentum. Cool it on the trigger. Cool it on the trigger, Jethro, will you? God damn.
We need to go. Gotta go fast.
Do you want to spend some for momentum?
Yes, I wanted to give him momentum for crying out loud.
So, I guess 1 momentum?
Yeah, just the 1. Go roll another one, you dumbass.
Okay, now the ship.
We did it.
That's what I'm talking about.
God damn, guys. That ship of yours.
Gotta go fast.
You get that momentum back.
Hell yeah, I did.
Let me find it, because I know we've got it. As the Hadfield turns and jumps to maximum possible warp. And
which is what, warp 6?
No. I think I've stated for the Hadfield, it's either warp 8.5 or warp 9. I can't remember.
Alright.
Warp 9 sounds good.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
So, slowly but surely, you enter the Beta Z system, and you see it right there on your view screen.
Ah, Beta Z. We're here ahead of time. Congratulations, Lieutenant Tazonin. Nice driving. Lieutenant Rugan, you know what I'm about to ask you. Go ahead and please do it.
Aye, sir. At once.
Hey, he hasn't done this in a while.
Hey, he's gotta. Otherwise, he'll get rusty and our sensors will fall apart.
Oh my god.
Hold on just Just a moment, the browser crashed, reloading up.
Oof. Rip. Right, that. I'll make this map layer. And then I'll edit and grab a couple height. Perfect. Okay. Are you ready, Ragon? I'm gonna take that as a new.
There he is.
Oh.
And he's using a momentum. Sure, I'll give it to you. No problem. Buddy.
And
Sorry, that was a mistake. I didn't mean to.
No, it's like I gave it to you, buddy. Don't you worry.
And don't forget to roll the ship's sensors science.
Of course. Okay, how much momentum did we generate?
Well, you generated 2, so you can immediately quash that
Yes.
comp. Great.
No, we will not spend momentum. I can re-roll any dice that the ship uses.
Well,
Oh yes. Okay. Yes.
oh yeah, and don't forget also, so actually it's difficulty 0 because of your sensors.
Alright.
No.
Go ahead, just reroll me that one then, that 20.
Wait, what do you have, Ragon, that lets you reroll?
I can't remember what it's called, but when I'm making a check,
Oh,
it's
technical
just
expertise, I
computers.
think, only lets you
Or it specifies with the computer. It specifies this includes the computers. Trust me, we've been over this again and again.
I forget.
I have to go AFK for a minute.
Check, because I remember it's actually a pretty decent talent, at that.
You give me a moment, I've got the exact text saved for this exact reason. Hold on.
Almost have it. Con, security, science. No, it's a general talent, I think. Okay, assisted by the ship's computers or sensors, you may re-roll a d20. So, yes, it's you can re-roll any d20, even the ship's. So, yes.
There we are, together.
So, do I get to reroll sensor science? Because I don't want to reroll that.
No, it's he can re-roll any die, include so that complication he can re-roll.
Alright, go ahead, reroll it.
We're gone? Oh, he dropped.
5-minute break, everyone.
Roll 20 just does not like me. Here, Tim's, can you kindly make my roll for me?
Yep,
Being
I'll do it.
nice.
I got you, buddy. I got you.
Thank you.
I got you, buddy. Reason, science, just the one. Oh no! Yeah, okay. I rolled on that 20. I'll give you those to momentum. Fuck it.
Awesome.
What a clusterfuck. We still get 1 though.
Yeah, you still got 1 out of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rugan, from as you can best determine, everything seems fine. Biological readings on the planet's surface are nominal. Generally, everything seems to be in good order on the planet's surface. Nothing out of the ordinary. Everything matches records.
Nothing out of the ordinary, Lieutenant?
What?
I'll take that as take this Klingon grunting as a yes. Good.
Here. Sorry, the chat's been breaking up for me for the last bit. I only got bits and pieces what Tim Sick was saying. Can anybody hear me yet?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. All like 10 billion something life forms on the planet's surface are there. It's nothing immediately stands out at you as odd.
Indeed, Captain. Beta Z seems to be as Beta Z seems to be as Beta Z as ever, I should say. Everything seems normal, nothing to our sense.
I see. Lieutenant, can you try and expand the search to cover any airborne particles? Try and focus the ship's sensors to see if this virus or whatever this disease is that we're facing is by some miracle airborne.
Aye,
or
sir. Be
waterborne.
Captain.
Or waterborne for that instance.
Indeed, I shall do that. And Tim Sick, would you kindly roll for me because roll 20 is being a twat? Or would somebody...
Okay, this will be Insight Science, difficulty 2, assisted by the ship's sensor science, so that brings it down to difficulty 1. Which are you scanning for specifically? Waterborne or airborne?
Airborne seems more dangerous, so let's start with
Airborne first, yes.
Here's a momentum as well, so I'm gonna roll 3 dice for you, buddy. Where's you?
Excellent. Make sure you use a focus.
Yes.
Oh my god, he split it up for us so we can roll it so many different times.
Oh my
Christ
god.
almighty. Christ almighty, what is going on with me? Okay, and the ship assists with sensor science.
Yep, and don't forget, he does get a reroll.
Yes, he does, and I'm about to just use that. Oh, thank you, God.
That was so nuts. You get 2 momentum. As the sensors are giving you a readback of no abnormal airborne particulates.
Can we use a free question now?
Sure.
Considering we succeeded. What about water?
I'll allow that. Sure.
Aye, sir. Scanning for waterborne.
Same thing. Nothing. No abnormal substances.
Where is this disease coming from, Lieutenant? That was a rhetorical question. Don't bother answering.
Aye, sir.
Captain to sickbay, come in.
Here, I'll throw us to this map because
I don't think she's here actually. So we're just gonna do this. Chief, no, he's not here either. Computer, hail the Beta Z High Command.
I want to put us on this map because I like it. As on the screen appears a rather Betazoid male with light gray hair. Not light gray, light brown hair, but you can see that parts of it are graying a little bit. He sort of has the Reed Richards thing going on.
Sure.
With the sides of his hairs are turning gray.
Sure.
Say, oh, thank God. They finally sent someone.
Greetings. This is the relief ship USS Hadfield of the Starfleet vessels in this sector. We're here because we were told there's an epidemic raging on Beta Z.
Well, I don't know if I'd go so far as to call it an epidemic right now. But it's not looking good.
Could you specify what is going on exactly?
It's the worst kind of illness that you could imagine here on Beta Z. And he looks around and he says, it's an illness of the mind, Captain.
I see. I would have thought that were sexually transmitted diseases. Never mind. Yes, of course.
Oh my God.
Can you tell us more
You
about?
can't just say that, Captain.
No. Can you tell us more about this disease, please?
Well, it came on rather suddenly. Just trying to think of the timeline of things. Just a little under 2 days ago, we started getting in reports of citizens erupting in rather violent outbursts, increasingly angry emotions, and, well, for a planet full of empathic and telepathic beings, you can imagine how trying this has been. The amount of stress that Betazoid society is undergoing in just such a short period of time is not good.
Out of character before we continue anything. God damn it! I knew we were gonna get a zombie episode of it. Another one. Back in
Why,
character.
sir? I'll prep the shovel.
Back in character. Right, of course. Do you perchance know where this disease originated? How's it spread?
Not a clue, and not a clue, Captain.
Well, our
It's all
sensors
that we
have
can
discovered.
do to. It's all that we can do to keep. It's all that our best empaths and telepaths can do to keep the order.
I see. Well, our sensors have revealed that it isn't airborne or waterborne as far as we could figure, so it should technically be safe to come down and conduct ground experiments. Would you agree?
Oh, you're welcome to come in. You and your ships are cleared to break the Starfleet instituted quarantine. So do what you feel you must.
Understood. I'll be paying a visit to the colony myself as well in a little bit, along with my doctor and some of my officers. We will be seeing you shortly, I hope.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm back. I just want to say.
Good. Captain Jacoby out. Bridge to Medbay.
Yes, I'm here.
Doctor, prepare your hazmat suit. You're going boots on the ground. You're going to be taking the Chief of Security and Lieutenant Azorin with you to assist you in any way they can. Lieutenant Rugan is coming with me.
Yes, sir.
Boy, oh boy.
Could I just get a fill-in on what I missed?
Well, they know just about as much as we do. They don't know where it started. They don't know what it is. It's an illness of the mind. They go crazy. They go violent with emotions, etc. It's not waterborne. It's not airborne. That about covered? Okay. Good. Lieutenant Rugan, get your dress suit on and disinfect it because we'll be going down on the ground on a diplomatic mission.
Aye, sir. Understood. Shiny shoes.
Yes, and shall we carry a bottle of disinfectant with us?
Yeah,
have that.
you could
You
bring
mean you
along
don't, sir?
you could bring along Starfleet issue disinfectant, which isn't really a disinfectant. It's not so much a material. It's like a small little stick
It's
that
a hand sanitizer.
it's a small little stick that it's like you press the end of the stick and a little light scans across your hand and disinfects it.
Yes, we'll bring along a couple. Why don't we? And Lieutenant Rugan, before we head out, would you mind also terribly bringing a couple of face masks and some rubber gloves, and not for ourselves as well, but also for the medical crew.
Indeed, sir. At once. I'll prepare several packets.
Excellent. Chief Watch Officer Bisbee, you have the bridge.
Thank you, Captain.
Standard orbit, unless you are told otherwise. If there's an emergency, I want Lieutenant Biss down in engineering transporting us up there immediately.
And let me make sure it's so Tizonan's going down. So Zumo Amari takes the con.
Over, yeah.
And as soon as he sits down, he says, assuming standard orbit, Captain.
Good.
Uh, out of character, I'm confused. Why is my team wearing hazmat suits, but you're wearing dress clothes?
Because we're going to the place where all the rich people and diplomats are.
Oh, and they're not sick.
I can only hope so.
So it's always this.
You're wearing hazmat suits because you're going to go work with the plebeians, shall we say?
Or I suppose the nicer, less classist way of saying it is you're going to be going down specifically to deal with the infected. The captain is not.
Rugan and myself
I
are
gotcha.
going to mingle with the fancy folk, with the patricians, as it were.
Aye, sir. I shall regard the hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah, just make sure you don't have to attend anyway.
Good. Everyone has their orders. We're clear to go.
All right. And you all head down to the transporter room.
Yes. I'd say the hazmat team can move out first because I'm assuming they're carrying the bigger amounts of gear.
Hang on, I'm just gonna do that, and then Lieutenant Biss is behind.
Alright, put me on the pad. Let's do this.
Yep, and then Jueza and Dr. Maselli. And I will need you to spend 2 momentum to get the advantage of having the EV suits.
Alright, done. EV suits are in. But wait, EV suits are extra vehicular suits. We need hazmat.
Okay, I'm saying for the purposes of this, they functionally do the same thing.
Sure, okay.
Give you clean, breathable air.
Clean, breathable air.
And he looks and says, right, I suppose the 3 of you are ready?
Yes, energize.
Energizing. And he slides his finger across. And the 3 of you disappear in the blue glow. Let me throw us.
Isn't it yellow? Isn't it the Voyager effect?
I think it's blue.
Huh. Alright. I thought we used the Voyagers.
As the 3 of you materialize in a rather lush park.
Huh. This is where they're keeping their infected?
And, well, off to the side you see this building here, and walking from it towards you is a Betazoid in white medical scrubs.
No.
Hello. We are the team sent from the Hadfield to help.
Ah, thank God. I am Dr. Leo Nino.
Nice to meet you. Are they a man or...
Hmm?
Are they a man or a woman?
As far as I know, did you ask if he's immune?
No, I said... Sorry. I said, is he a man or a woman?
A
then
man.
you use male pronouns, so I guess you... Sorry. Yes, sorry. Yeah, just good to you, sorry.
Did you have something, Doc?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm all set, sorry.
Oh, thank God. We're getting some relief here.
Yes, we're here to help in any way we can.
This is, boy, something of a mess.
Yeah, it appears to be so. How can we help?
Well, follow me. We've converted this lecture hall into a makeshift quarantine facility. If you'll follow me.
Yes, we shall follow him.
It's unlike anything we've ever seen before. A little under 2 days ago, we started getting reports in of bouts of anger and violent outbursts all across Beta Z. They came on all at once.
Should have brought my rifle.
Gosh.
And that's highly unusual. I assume, right? Betazoid's crime rate is not that high.
To what?
I said Betazoid's crime rate is very low.
I know. We're a little overwhelmed with it all. And currently we have no idea how this thing is spreading.
Well, our scans suggested that it's not airborne or water.
Okay.
So
Well,
it might be spread through contact. It could be spread telepathically. We'll just need to do more scans.
yeah, I suppose we'll have to. Alright, let's get to this. And he's gonna lead the two of you inside. Meanwhile, in a completely different part of the capital city of Beta Z, as captain, you and Rugan have just beamed into sort of a central office center.
Okay, where's the welcoming committee?
There are a few staff members who approach you and says, "You're Captain Lawrence Jacoby?"
The very same. This is my science officer, Lieutenant Rathok Rugan.
A pleasure.
Indeed, a pleasure.
I'm
Alright.
assuming time for formalities is low, so please take us to someone who can brief us on everything that's been going on in the past 48 hours.
Okay. If you'll follow us, we have someone whose, I guess you could say, entire job is to keep the houses updated on the situation and to handle it.
Okay. Go ahead.
They lead you down. They lead you down a few hallways into a room where you see you see a rather young Betazoid female, busily busily talking to aides and saying, "Okay, we need to redeploy security measures to this quadrant, and okay, that'll leave us weak there, but the risk assessment is low, so we'll have to go for it." And like she's looking over a hollow table, and she seems to be wearing, if you've seen Betazoid clothing, is tends to be very free, very freeing, very it allows for a lot of free movement. What this woman is wearing is not that.
Okay, I will approach her. Hello, I am Captain Lawrence Jacoby. This is my science officer, Lieutenant Rathok Rugan. We are from the Starfleet ship USS Hadfield. We are here to assist you in any way we can. I was told you were able to brief us.
Yes, I am. Commander Dor Hua. I'm in charge of, well, most security matters on Beta Z. I'm not the highest up, but my specific background in disease management has made me particularly suited for this job.
I see. Okay. Is there somewhere we could talk in private, or would you prefer we do it here?
Well, I think it would probably be best that we do it here. This is my information center, so to speak. Anything that you want to know, I suppose I could tell you in private, but I could give you much better and more up-to-date information here.
Understood. Let's start from the beginning then. We scanned the air and the water on Beta Z. It seems that this disease is not airborne or waterborne. Can you confirm our suspicions?
We haven't been able to do any in-depth scans. Nothing that a starship would be able to provide. You could forward those scanner readings to us. We can confirm them with what data we have. But I trust your findings. Starfleet assigned you.
Okay, very good. Walk us through the past 48 hours if you can. Take it slow.
All right. As far as we can tell, cases started breaking out in major population centers, and she pulls up a map of Beta Z. It's like the turning globe, and small dots appear in various city areas. Started appearing in various population centers across Beta Z 44 hours ago.
Okay. How many? Are there any deaths reported so far?
Any deaths that have been reported are fortunately minimal, but there have been a couple dozen deaths pertaining to violence. We managed to get most of it under control, though, and currently there haven't been any deaths in the past 18 hours. We've managed to keep it all bottled.
I see. Now, you said this all happened in major urban centers. I don't suppose you have any recordings of these attacks. My lieutenant and I here would be very interested in seeing one of those.
I'll see what I can find you. Not much, though. Quite a few of these attacks occurred in private dwellings, hence why they were unable to be stopped. Telepaths with high negative emotions tend to stick out like a sore thumb in Betazoid society, so to speak.
I see. So, not really much information as to how this rage manifests itself on regular people.
Right. I do think, as such, we've currently locked down the planet. No one is getting in, no one is getting out. That does not make the traders happy.
How is the situation in Beta Z itself? Any reportings, any numbers from the men on the streets?
Any reportings or numbers on what? We have a lot of metrics that we're compiling here,
on the
Captain.
disease.
What?
Do we have any on the disease? Do we have any demographic statistics? How many we are facing that are infected? How many are uninfected? Where the infected are contained? Where the uninfected are contained?
It's spreading slowly but steadily right now. As far as we can tell, there's a minor uptick in some areas. It might suggest that the disease is gearing up for rapid spreading sometime soon, but we have no information to confirm that.
And one final thing, what is the status of the security forces on Beta Z?
Here we go. And the captain says, "If I'm going to be honest, Captain, our security forces are rather strained. we're stretched rather thin, and given that most of our security forces are Betazoid, we don't know whether or not this is going to strike them, and as such, I might ask if I can make a selfish request of you.
Go ahead.
In 48 hours, Beta Z will be having a celebration of sorts at the Pillars of Rix. And it is going to be quite possibly a large gathering. It always is. There are some elements related to the Pillars of Rix, namely between relations between the 4th and 5th house, that are rather terse. They have been on generally bad terms ever since the 5th house's inception. We're worried that at the celebration, with the disease on the loose,
You're worried that... Hello? Hello?
yeah. What? Hello? Did you say something?
Darn it, sometimes GM just drops dead on you and you have to deal.
Oh, can you guys not hear me?
We can so
Yeah,
you were saying,
no.
you were saying something like the two houses have a very strange relationship, and then...
Oh, and then with everything that's going on with this disease, we're worried about a mass riot.
I see. Well, in a way, mass riots are already happening right now with this outbreak of violence, but what
But
you're
this could
asking of
be
me to
something
do is to see
unprecedented.
if my crew can help cure this disease within 48 hours so you can have your festival.
Yes, but in case, in any which case, we were wondering if you could supply a small, non-Betazoid security team to assist
15 minutes, we're
matters.
legally allowed to leave.
How
What kind
dare
of
you.
voice was that?
Oh no. I've got a great many of them, you see.
That's so
Tom.
weird.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
Oh
it's
no.
like British Kermit or something.
You
Did
stunned
you,
them.
Oh, come on now.
Did you
Not
hear
that
what I
hard.
said, Grant?
What did you say?
You want me to solve your little... You want us to solve your little disease before the festival, is that correct?
Oh, did you not hear what I said in response to that? I said,
No.
okay,
No.
well, yes, that would be optimal, but in the event that you're, well, not able to, I was wondering if in the meantime you'd be willing to lend a small security team to watch over a couple of the VIPs.
I see. Well, I hope you understand that the Hadfield itself has a crew complement of 70 odd people on board, most of them scientists. Our security teams are also spread thin as it is. What I can do is assign one of my best men to do the job. How does that sound?
Give me a presence command difficulty of 2.
I'll give myself a momentum. Does my focus in diplomacy work or negotiation?
I'll say neither.
Okay. Complication though.
I'll take the threat.
God, what is it with these nat 20s? If I was playing D&D right now, we'd be
Right, yeah,
rolling
I know,
in
right?
these nat 20s.
She sort of just looks over the two of you and says, well, if he is your best, I suppose that'll work. If you could send him to this address.
Of course, but I will also be making one request of you, if I may.
Yes?
My security guy, he's good. And I want him to manage the security forces here on Beta Z, cordoning off sectors, preventing the disease from spreading any further if possible, or at least slowing it in its tracks as much as it can. If
I'm
you're
sorry,
willing.
but I'm not putting the security forces of Beta Z under the command of a Starfleet officer.
Not even as an advisor?
That would be a gross overstepping of power, Captain. We brought you in to oversee the disease, and yes, I admit I am asking you for a small favor in handling this security matter, but the entire security forces of Beta Z is a finely tuned machine that I have spent decades learning to, that I have spent years learning to properly oversee.
I see. That's fine. Very well then. I will send him over at his quickest convenience, and he will presume charge over the VIPs at least. A good day to you, Captain. Okay, Captain Jacoby to Chief Joeza, come in.
Go ahead.
Chief, at your earliest convenience, you will be guarding VIPs.
What kind of VIP, sir?
I wasn't told, well, I was told there were two warring houses and you're supposed to be in charge of guarding them. I told them you're the best, so you're the only one who gets to do this. Just make sure they don't kill each other, will you?
Copy, sir. Recommend that I get my phaser rifle then?
Agreed. You may get your phaser rifle. As soon as you are done helping Dr. Maselli get some samples on board the Hadfield. Be sure to decontaminate yourself before you come back to Beta Z.
Yes, sir.
I thought we
Say
were
what you
on
want to
Beta
make the
Z.
captain.
You're already on the surface.
Yeah, we're in hazmat suit.
Yes,
But
hazmat suits get contaminated.
Alright, yeah. I gotcha.
So
We'll go through the biofilter.
Yeah, he's gonna help you carry some supplies up, or well, some samples up to the ship, and then he's gonna come down.
Mm-hmm. And as you cut off the communication with Joeza, you guys are currently standing in the middle of what appear to be a large number of quarantine fields. A number of betazoids of all ages, genders, appearance, walking around. A number of them are sort of knocking at the edge of the containment field, realizing that they can't get out, and then going back to storming grumpily around, and everyone seems agitated. Agitated at best. You also hear some yelling, but it's just this dinned cacophony of angry voices.
But they're in a force field, you said, right?
Yes, they're in medical quarantine fields.
Would those fields interfere with tricorder readings?
Don't think so.
Alright, well then can I walk up to the field and try and scan one of them?
Oh, for sure. Give me Insight Medicine, difficulty of 3.
Okay, would xenobiology apply?
Let me see your focuses real quick. Let me just look.
Chemistry, emergency medicine, psychiatry, xenobiology, research.
Oh, I'll allow psychiatry.
Alright. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
You get to use that focus.
Can I spend that momentum, please?
Huh?
Or is that from a previous scene?
Yeah, you can use that
Can I
momentum.
spend that? Okay.
Nice.
There
You
you
want to re-roll that 0?
Oh, yes, I forgot I could do that. I generated 2 momentum. Jacoby, we're at 2.
Yeah, you generated a momentum. As Doctor, you're scanning in. Yeah, this person's neurochemistry is all kinds of out of whack. It's a like it is a let's just say someone is not getting their serotonin.
Now, these brain scans appear to be completely out of the normal bounds for a Venusaur. Can I tell if their what you got, telepathic or empathic abilities have been affected by that, or if they're in any way related to this?
I'm just trying to think of what, exactly how I want to. It's like I'm trying to think of how I want to frame that.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Because okay, so you're trying to determine whether or not this is affecting their telepathic abilities at all.
Yeah. Or,
Okay,
or if it's interacting with them in any way.
Okay, reason, medicine, difficulty of 2.
Right. And I'm going to spend another momentum.
Psychiatry. I'll allow psychiatry
so,
to come into play again.
I will reroll both of those.
You can only reroll 1.
Oh, I guess
only.
we take the first roll then?
Yeah. So that's a complication and a 1. There's just too much to be able to say right here. It might help if you brought one of these people up to the Hadfield, but you're getting a lot of conflicting readings. This is unlike anything you've ever seen before.
Is that Venusaur Doctor still around?
Yes, he is still around.
I'm sorry, what is his name again?
Oh, Dr. Leo Neonow. Neono. Leo Neono.
Dr. Leo Neon, sorry, sorry. Dr. Leo Neon, has anything like this ever happened on Venusaur's history before? Or does this appear to be a new outbreak?
We've never seen something that can transmit itself like this before.
Well, this might be a case of broken arm syndrome, but I believe it could be linked to your telepathic abilities, because I'm not quite sure how else this could spread so rapidly if it's not airborne.
You think this might be something telepathically spread? I don't know. Something spreading, a disease spreading itself telepathically is a little out of the norm, wouldn't you say?
That's just my working best guess right now, sir. I'm not quite sure what else could cause it. It seems entire. Well, let me ask you this: has any non-Venusaurids living on the planet been affected by it?
Not as far as we could tell, but well, I mean, could be it.
Diseases usually only spread this rapidly through the air.
Right, but don't forget, just because only Betazoids are being affected doesn't mean anything. There are plenty of alien diseases that only affect certain species.
Yes, I know. It's just my working guess right now. Can I ask if you have any theories or ideas about what this What's this?
Oh, I haven't had much time to go theory crafting, Doctor. I've been way too busy just trying to keep things under control here. As you can tell, this isn't exactly a disease that you deal with peacefully. And not to mention, it's also rather tough for any doctor working here to deal with all the cacophony. He just motions around him. Also, psionically speaking, Doctor. And yeah, you realize something, Doctor. Given that all the medical personnel here are betazoids, not only are they hearing all this yelling and loud outbursts, but they're also hearing the emotional screaming that's going on as well. You couldn't even begin to imagine what that must sound like.
No, I'm sorry. That sounds truly awful. The last thing we want is a psychotic break. Any of your staff. I hope you take care of yourself.
Thank you, Doctor. But I think we managed to get a good enough control on ourselves. Betazoid doctors are, I suppose you could say, very in tune with their emotions. We have to be.
I imagine so, sir. I should not be calling him sir. He is not superior. I imagine so, Doctor. I think I would like to transport one of these people onto the Hadfield to get a closer look at them.
All right. If you think that that's what's for the best, I have orders to assist in any way I can. I'll fill out the paperwork and have a couple of my staff members pick a choice subject for you. I can't believe I just referred to them that way. And he turns around and he walks away.
Alright. Are we continuing or are we cutting to a new scene?
So, about 5 minutes later, they come to you with a pad giving the transfer, all the medical transfer paperwork. It's one of those things of it is always difficult to, it's very difficult to transport a civilian, even for purposes of helping with a medical quarantine and getting tests done. But there are people who essentially waive that kind of thing, just in case something like this were to happen. And there were one or two among the hundreds of ill people. So they're able to get someone for you. It is a Betazoid woman, looks to be in maybe her late 40s. And she is just stomping. She is fuming. What are you looking at?
Hello?
Did you cut out there? Because it sounded like you were continuing and
I think he did.
Huh?
Oh.
She just looks at you and says, "What are you looking at? You think this is funny? Looking at the caged animal?"
Well, excuse me?
You're getting some sick pleasure out of this, aren't you? And by the by, I gotta say, just because I gotta have the image in there, she has the "I'd like to speak with your manager" haircut.
Damn it, Karen.
Uh-oh. It's Karen.
Yep. Just to complete the image.
You hang the fuck on, I had a meme for this. I'm gonna find it, keep going.
Alright. Ma'am, we will do everything we can to, help find a cure for this. Just, please, hang in there. We're doing the best we can.
Oh, great. The big bad Starfleet officer is going to help me. Oh, this is just great. And you hear a voice in your head coming from next to you. It's the doctor's voice. He says, please, don't even bother.
I assume you have to be right, sir. And I'm just gonna smile at the woman. Are we taking the shuttle back up, or are we transporting back up?
Well, as long as you beam them into a medical quarantine.
Yeah, I suppose that would be the best idea. All right.
Doc, I might recommend sedating them before transport.
As long as you site to site, it'll be fine.
Well, you will just need to put up a containment field on the Hadfield, right?
Yeah, and those can be erected in sickbay.
All right. And we're taking 2 people on, right?
Yes, you're taking 2 on.
Alright,
and then there's another who he's sort of a, looks like a very young adult. Like, very, young male, like, early 20s. Jet black hair. And of course, they both have the very distinctive, black pupils of Betazoid eyes.
Don't normal humans have black people?
I'm sorry, black irises.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
You know.
Yeah, sorry. I was just confused for a second.
Betazoids have no eye color.
Yeah. Right. Sorry, I keep losing track. All right. Yeah, I will.
Technically,
Ping
I'd
my
actually make their eyes red.
So
I will ping my I will tap my communicator and say this. This is CMO Maselli. We need to transport the three officers around the 2 officers around me back to medbay.
Not officers, but the 2 life forms.
No, I was referencing Zonin sorry, I cannot speak to it. And oh my god, I am sorry. And could we get a medical containment field erected in sickbay for 2 patients from Betazoid, and beam those up too?
All right. I think to keep things simple, I'll beam the 3 of you up separately and start with the 2 life forms in front of you. So, first things first, he's going to make that... so we're going to spend a crew support point to activate him?
Yep.
Yeah.
You want to give him, like, a value?
What could we possibly give him?
I just said you could give him a value.
Just based on happy values?
I don't think this...
I'll let you guys come up with a value while we're rolling this. So this will be Control Engineering, Difficulty 3, assisted by the ship's Sensors Engineering. Or actually,
so something about the fact that he came back from...
I'm sorry, it's Difficulty 4 brought down to 3 by the ship's sensors.
Holy Jesus. Alright, give me a second. I'm gonna give him the value. Yeah, can we give him like a survivor value or something like that?
I think that fits for someone who is almost killed.
I got it. I've got a good value title. There you go.
I've survived worse. I can work with that. Okay, I'm gonna give this a momentum.
Okay, and he has a focus, so 3 dice.
Control engineering, 3 dice. Come on, this don't tell me now.
Oof.
Oh, what is with me in these nat 20s today? Okay, and the ship assists with what now?
Sensors engineering. It was difficulty 4, but it's difficulty 3. There you go.
Okay.
That does it. I'm gonna come up with
Comp the.
I'm just trying to decide what I want this to be. Okay, I know what it's gonna do. And you hear back from Biss. All right, I've got them, and they should be safely in the medical quarantine field. And oh dear, having a little trouble with the transporters. Site to site is not always the easiest thing. It's a little finicky. I might have a little trouble bringing the 3 of you back up.
Might I recommend that I stay down here and you just beam me over to where I'm needed versus me going up to the ship and back down?
Oh, well, site to site is... basically, you're asking him to, instead of doing a site to ship and then ship to site, you're asking him to do a site to site, which is what he just said is a bad idea.
Okay, then.
Basically, what this means is, basically, what this is going to be is just he was not gonna have to roll before. Now he has to roll.
How far away am I from where I need to go?
It's right here. Actually, sorry. Here.
Could I find a local transport to take me?
You could walk.
All right, well, I'll walk.
Yes, but we're in the future. We're supposed to be lazy.
Bro, haven't you seen like the third J.J. Abrams Star Trek where they just have freaking teleporters everywhere, bro?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Although, how difficult would it be for him to beam down my rifle?
Beamed what?
beam down his rifle.
Hold on. I've seen this episode before.
Are you gonna ask him that?
No.
Yeah, to take it out of the armory and just beam it down to roughly where I'm at.
thought you meant,
Well,
like-
I can see about doing that, but you'll have to give your command authorization codes, and might take me a little bit to get it approved, given that you're not going to be up here on the ship, and, well, the captain won't be here to authorize it.
Julius, I totally thought you meant like teleport somebody by shooting them. I was like, what?
That actually did happen in an episode. It set up so that wherever you shot would get beamed up.
Wasn't that, like, an insurrection?
No, that was where they thought Picard had died, and
insurrection. That's where they had, like, the rifles that, or like the drones that shot them, and
they did those too. Those ones they actually had the little stickers that went into you and that gave them a lock. But no, this was actually an archaeological. It's the one where
Oh yeah, that one.
they found the Vulcan mental death ray.
Is that the one that had like the Vulcan pretending to be a Romulan pretending to be a Vulcan?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trek is weird.
You know, the double whammy or triple whammy.
So what are you gonna do, Jueza?
I will walk to the location and have him start the process for giving me my bloody rifle.
All right. So you have
You broke it.
to, did something just break?
Broke my rifle. Oh god.
I just struck the glass. I will beat that.
That's fine. In the meantime, I'm gonna roll for we're gonna roll for Biss to see if he manages to beam you guys back up. So it's going to be a control engineering difficulty 2, assisted by the ship's sensors engineering, and yes, I did take into account the sensors.
Yes.
Do I have to roll this again? Okay. Okay. Control engineering. I'm gonna give him a momentum, and I'm gonna give you 2 additional threat for another.
Okay. I'll take it.
Better, Biss. Way better.
It's only
2,
difficulty
4,
2,
5.
man.
Okay, and the ship rolls the same. Yes, Biss. Yes.
That's
How much momentum was
4.
that? Yes.
As Doctor, as Tizonin, you and the Doctor up to the
Amazing.
ship. Meanwhile, not Tizonin, Jaweza, no, not that. He does not stretch into a long boy.
Sad.
Or a tall boy.
Damn.
He makes his way up to, it's sort of a penthouse type deal.
This is a nice place.
Yes, hold on a moment. I just need to make sure I go to, I need to make sure I go to the right layer for this. Good, yeah. That would have been way too big. I want to make sure these are the right size. I'm gonna go to... so you walk around, and then you hear it. And, Doctor, you might want to turn off your mic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I love that. I demand a parlay with the Chief Executive Officer. Right.
Whack.
It's your turn in the initiative. What do you want to do? Whack. So you're walking around in this penthouse. When you hear it, what do you mean I'll be unable to wear my ceremonial dress? Do they know who I am? I am the daughter of the 5th house, holder of the sacred chalice of Rix, and heir to the holy rings of Beta Zed.
Oh, no.
Run!
Run!
Hello? Is anyone home? Knock, knock, knock.
Oh, who is it? And she looks down and says, oh, they said that I was going to be getting someone. Little did they tell me that it would be someone so strapping. So.
And, Joyza, in his mind, will just say, she doesn't look too bad for her age.
What? What?
I heard that, you know.
Immediately makes me gurgle.
Wait, what?
I do
You-
look
you
rather
heard
nice for
that?
my age, don't I?
I thought beta sets couldn't read people's minds if
No,
they
no,
weren't
full
like,
Betazoids
telepathic.
can. That's always been one of the funny things that happens, is that Luxana Troy is, like, notorious for, like, intruding in people's minds. She has, like, no boundaries. The only reason that Diana is empathic is because she's half.
Well, yeah, but I thought it was like you couldn't read the minds of somebody that didn't have that special part of the brain.
No, they changed it around a couple times, but mostly it was, they couldn't read Ferengi sometimes.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple other, I think Green, they couldn't read either.
Yeah. But he's Bajoran, so fair game. So, I
It
do look
works
rather
in
nice for
plot.
my age, don't I?
Yes, ma'am.
So, I'd like to put this to you right now. Now that Luxana Troy has entered this episode, when she appears, she may select a single-player character or NPC to be the object of her affections for that mission.
Oh no.
That chosen character gains an additional directive. Luxana Troy's affections. This, you cannot challenge this directive.
And what does this directive do exactly?
What it says in the book is this is most likely to be used negatively, creating a complication for you, which will give you a point of determination.
Okay.
So at some point, this directive might give you a complication of some kind, and if that happens, you get a determination.
Okay.
But that's just if that happens.
Better you than me, buddy. Better you than me.
Oh, do you have any things, dearie?
Well, I'm waiting for something to be sent down from the ship. It's a personal item.
Well...
But other than that...
well, in that case, I'll have it seen to that you're comfortable. And she claps her hands. Mr. Holm! And...
my gosh.
This rather pale, tall man appears from another doorway, and he just nods to you. Mr. Hom here will take care of any and all of your needs. Say the word. Don't mention it.
You don't happen to have any Hospirat, do you?
Oh, I'm sure he can throw something together. Can't you, Mr. Hom?
Oh, that would be lovely.
And the man just sort of... He makes sort of a hand motion that you can only interpret as yes.
And I'll find a nice, comfortable chair and kind of sit back, relax, while I guard my VIP.
Right. Okay, we are now moving into a new scene.
Woo!
Oh, man. Oh, I was waiting for that reveal.
Okay.
It's so good.
You have been waiting for that since you told us about it a while ago. Tell that glee in your voice you've been rat bat.
Right. Good shit. So, are you back yet, Doctor?
Well, we
Yeah,
can take a
I-
Oh, okay.
I'm back. Sorry.
All good. All good. So, Doctor, you have made your way down to sickbay. Meanwhile, Tizonin, you've made your way back to the bridge.
Alrighty.
And I think I'm just trying to remember who would be who. Bisbee, I'll say, Bisbee is currently sitting behind tactical. Despite being a science officer, he's essentially manning sensors right now. Well, I suppose now all there is to do is wait.
I guess so.
And he looks down and says, "Oh, that is some fortuitous timing. I am detecting an incoming Starfleet vessel."
Oh. Put him on screen.
As dropping out of warp is an Olympic-class vessel.
Oh boy, hospital ship. Hail them. Let's see what's up.
Let me find the thing.
This is the USS Hadfield to... What's their...
Bisbee looks over and he says, Registration indicates it is the USS Jita. Jita.
Okay. This is the USS Hadfield to the USS Jita. Welcome to Beta Z.
And on the screen appears a a young woman with the maybe in her late 30s or mid 30s, I'd say, like early to mid 30s.
Young woman, almost 40. What?
And she's got the 3 command pips.
Oh,
Oh boy.
all right. If people really do live to be about 140 years old, I mean, even like 45 would be pretty young. You would still have 80 years of your life ahead of you.
I mean, I suppose so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the average retirement age is like 90, 95 years old, so it is pretty young.
Gotcha. All right, you gonna put her on screen?
This is Commander Amy Breyer here. It's good to see you, Hadfield.
It's good to see you too. What brings you here?
Well, we're replying to the medical emergency here at Beta Z. We're here to offer what assistance we can down on the planet's surface, but if we have resources to spare, we'll see what assistance we can give you.
Gotcha.
And I'll hang on, I'll move. I want to move to the right layer. So at this point, you guys are like here. So currently, as things stand, Starfleet is organizing a larger medical response. They should be here in about 2 days.
All right then. And then, do I need any more information from her? Or should I just end the call?
Up to you, bro, but ending the call on a lady would be rude.
You hang
Yeah,
up.
thank
No,
you.
you hang up. No, you hang up.
Okay. No, you hang up. Okay. She hung up on me.
Love that. So stupid.
Alright then, Jita, is there any way I could be of assistance to you, or are you good to go?
Well, if you could link up with, if you could have your medical department link up with ours, we'll see about getting a transfer of information going.
Okay, on that as soon as possible. Hadfield out.
Okay.
No, you hang up first.
I did.
And you cut the comms, and Bisbee looks to you and says, USS Jita is assuming standard orbit.
Would hope so. That'd be weird if they didn't. Alright, I'm gonna mash the panel to connect our ship's data logs together.
Okay. This will be a control engineering difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's communications engineering.
And boop. Who's doing the ship?
Yeah,
Oh,
someone
of
roll the
course.
ship's communications engineering.
Crap, I forgot that
Come
part
on!
fell on. I forgot that part fell onto me. Engines con, right?
No, communications engineering.
That's a weird roll. We've never used communication. What the heck?
We gotta intertwine our
There you
computers.
go.
See, it even says null system because we never freaking used it.
Oh shoot, man! We forgot to install the communication thing. Oh jeez. Oh jeez, man.
Oh jeez, Kermit.
God.
Oh jeez, Rick. I don't know what we're doing.
So anyway,
Morty, you just gotta push the button, Morty.
Anyway,
This is Captain. Sorry. Never mind.
so yes, quickly working at it, you managed to definitely hook up the medical departments on the two ships. Normally, ships intraship communication. Intraship communications is usually a fairly fluid thing, but you guys have got this synced up perfectly. So the way this is gonna work, then, the way it was before, you have essentially created an advantage that lets you use an advantage. Again, the way this was going to be set up is that as an Olympic-class vessel, the USS Jita has the advanced sickbay perk, just like you guys.
But theirs has an EMH.
They also have the EMH, but more importantly, the advanced sickbay perk. Now, what this will let you do is, before it was going to be once per scene, you get to access their advanced sickbay perk in addition to your own.
And the EMH?
You guys aren't going to be using the EMH because it's not super relevant.
I wanted to hear you do Robert Picardo in person.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys about that in a moment. But so the way it works is because Tzonin made that roll, now you can use it twice in a scene. So in addition to getting to use your own advanced sickbay once per scene, you can also use their advanced sickbay twice per scene.
And what does that give us?
It lets you do a number of things. It is an advantage, and you can spend advantages in a number of different ways to give you special stuff on extended tasks, to lower the difficulty of checks.
Alright.
So you've got, essentially you have more resources now. So now that I'll get to it, I'll tell you this right now. As much I love Robert Picardo, like he is so good, but right now, like my favorite NPC in the USS Kismet game is the Mark II EMH. Just because of how the GM plays him. Like, it'll do this thing where, like, the best example I can give is, the security officer found a Klingon diplomat stabbed in a diplomatic suite. And she was, like, bleeding out on the floor. And so he called, computer, activate emergency medical hologram in diplomatic suite, because the EMH Mark II can be anywhere on the ship. And the EMH Mark II shows up and he's like, please state the nature of your medical emergency. Oh no, oh dear. That's not good.
Oh jeez, look at him, he's just bleeding all over the place.
And that's how he reacts.
Oh god, that's a rib. Why is it there?
And that is how he reacts.
EMH Mark II seems like you would make a horrible doctor.
That's how he reacts to everything. It's just like, please state the nature of your medical emergency. Oh no, arms aren't supposed to bend that way. Oh no.
There's Robins on the ship? Don't worry about that. Loads phase rifle. I've got a cream for that.
So funny.
Stop breathing down my neck. My breathing is only simulation. So is my neck. Now stop it. It's like one of the best lines in of Voyager. I think pretty good. I think that whole was it 1 or 2 episodes was some of Voyager's best.
Oh boy. So anyhow.
Anyways. Alright, yeah, let's perhaps get to something more relevant.
We now cut down to sickbay as Vlok still sitting on that still laying on that biobed unresponsive.
The man's lazy. You only did this to get out of work.
Oh,
Swear to God, fellas, next time we get a ship arc milestone, we're putting an EMH in.
yeah. So, here's
EMH.
so here's
Okay, let's just
so
finish this because I will be playing all day.
yep. So, here's the interesting thing. I assume now, Doctor, you are going to try and figure out what is causing this, right?
Yeah.
Guess what we're going to use? Something that I don't think you've ever seen in action, Doctor. In fact, I don't think a lot
Wow.
of you have seen this in action.
Extended tasks.
Huh?
Oh no, not extended tasks.
No, not exactly. We are using the scientific method.
Oh, we've seen this in action.
We've used that like times.
Oh,
get the fuck outta
yes,
here.
that's right. I don't think the Doctor was around for it.
We've used it
Yeah.
today when Juesa was modifying his phaser. That was the scientific.
It's a slightly,
Oh.
it is a slightly different thing. It is.
Okay.
So the way this works is, when a scientist is presented with an observation that they do not understand or an event that is occurring that is not well understood, they begin to ask questions. You must select a discipline that these observations fit into: engineering, science, or medicine.
Medicine, obviously.
All right, so you have picked medicine. You are the research lead on this. So you are going to start hypothesizing. So what you are now going to do is you are going to throw out 3 to 5 ideas for what you think is going on here.
Alright.
And then you're going to make a roll, and there is a quote-unquote right solution to what is going on here. If you guess correctly and you roll properly, I will tell you that you got one of them correct. That one of the solutions is the correct one, but I won't tell you which. If one of the hypotheses you put forward isn't correct, I get threat, and you burn some time.
Okay. Sure.
And every time you make a roll, it will be 6 hours of research. You can spend a momentum to cut that in half.
Yeah, do the old an engineering trick and take half the time that you say you're going to take.
Yep. So first thing you're gonna do is you're going to make some initial observations. So make a make this a reason medicine difficulty 0 task assisted by the ship's computer's medicine.
Does my focus in research come into play here?
Yes.
Awesome.
For this specific role, it does.
Cool. Huh, that's not bad.
And this is a difficulty 0, so anything you do on this particular roll is just momentum.
And what is the ship rolling?
Computer's medicine.
Here it goes.
Do.
Okay.
Cool.
So, you generated 3 momentum, and that takes 6 hours. Now, you might want to spend one of those momentum you got to cut that down to 3.
Can
Sure.
we spend 2 momentum?
Huh?
Can we spend 2 instead of 1?
It's only 1 momentum, but it cuts it down to 3 hours instead of 6.
Sure, here you go.
So yeah, you managed to lay at least the observational groundwork for what you're gonna come up with. You're reading all these neural scans, all these chemical imbalances, and you're ready to start putting together some theories. So give me 3 to 5 theories for what this could be, and you are all free to talk among yourselves, come up with some ideas. I will be right back. Remember, 3 to 5. You don't have to give me 5.
I bet this is some Luxana fuckery, if I'm honest.
So you think it is spread through Luxana Troy?
No, of course not. That would be silly. I am suggesting that maybe this thing is like a parasite, like they had in that one episode of Trek, you know, where the Starfleet High Command was like
Yes.
infected with parasites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my thing.
All right, we have parasite. That's one. I still think it's somehow spread telepathically. Does anyone else have any other guesses?
Viral.
Virals? Yeah, that works.
Perhaps it could be something like from 28 days later, you know, it's, I don't know, transmitted by blood or other bodily fluids. It's like rage, like they had in that movie.
Yeah, it's the to make another Rick and Morty reference, it's the thing they ate on the Purge planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be that.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely know that it's not airborne or waterborne, so, like, the question is how it spreads, and the only available medically viable solution is through contact or through bodily fluid.
I think the only 3 real options are contact, bodily fluids, or telepathy.
Or maybe, hear me out, this is really far-fetched, but it could be also this. There was sabotage, somebody spiked the drinks in a bar, and everybody who drank got infected.
Yeah, but this
So
isn't like a
chemical?
worldwide disease. This is like a worldwide disease. I think we would notice if all of these people came from the same bar.
Okay, sure. But what if it's transmitted via, you know, if it started that way, but it's transmitted via bodily fluids, such as
Perhaps.
sweat or blood or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we pretty much covered everything, so go ahead.
Okay, so do you have your 3 to 5 hypotheses?
Yeah, we talked about a bunch of stuff, but
You are the research lead, so you are the arbiter of which avenues you want to explore.
so it's limited to just theories about how it spreads, right?
What is causing this disease? How it's moving around? It's you are trying to understand what this disease is.
Okay, so
Or in this case, I suppose yes. I think for what you're asking, yes, how it is spreading is the first step.
okay,
Because that's the most confusing thing right
now. We came up with it could be a parasite. It could be spread through bodily fluids, and it could be spread telepathically. And I think those were the 3 main ones.
All right, that's fine. Now, in that case, let's see. I don't think you have to make a roll. I think I just tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, hang on. Just making sure. One of those is indeed the correct answer.
Cool.
Sorry, had to sneeze. Now, here comes the interesting bit. Testing. I now assign a number of successes to determine if the hypothesis is correct. The way this goes is I'm going to say that this check, this task requires 6 successes in order to... Hear me out here. Here's how this works. 6 successes in order to complete it, in order to finish testing one of these theories. You pick one theory at a time. And you build up successes. So even if you don't get the 6 successes on the first roll, you can get it on subsequent rolls. Like, you accumulate successes. It's just how much time it's going to take. So, once you finish those 6 successes, I will tell you whether or not you chose correctly.
Sure. Alright, so what am I rolling?
And if anyone so I leave it to you what you want to do, and don't forget, you have all these advantages and crew support to spend.
I'm so confused. In order to make this check, what would I have to roll?
You will be rolling a... I'm gonna say in this case it is reason, medicine, and over a series of checks you have to build up 6 successes. And
Okay.
And before you start making these checks, tell me which hypothesis you want to pursue.
Okay. Can I spend 2 instances of advanced sickbay to lower that from 6 to 4?
Okay, that's fine.
Alright.
As your sick bay, as the equipment in your sick bay starts talking with the the sick bay on board the Jita, there's still you're not putting all their resources to task, but it's a good start.
Does my focus in research still apply?
Yes, I'll say yes.
And does our sick bay get to roll?
Yes, your sick bay gets to roll with computers medicine.
Alright, and can I spend, is it 3 momentum to get up to 4 dice?
Yes. That should be it. 1, 2, 3.
Well, and before you roll, let me know which hypothesis you're tackling first.
I guess we'll do the telepathic one first, because
All
that's
right.
the one I think is most likely.
Okay. That is 5 successes.
That's 5.
And roll the
So,
Computers medicine.
That's 6 successes. That's the number of successes you needed for this round of it was 4.
so do we generate 2
Yeah, we
momentum?
generated 2. Yeah, I gave.
Yep, you generate 2 momentum, and you spend 6 hours unless you spend a momentum.
No, we can spend 6 hours, I think.
Okay. Congratulations, Doctor. You picked the correct solution.
Hey, it was right.
Yeah, it's it is weird. This thing is somehow managing to communicate itself via via telepathy. You figured out how it's doing it. It's not a virus. It's not like a bacteria. It's not like that. It is a condition. It is like a degrading condition that seems to be triggered telepathically.
Okay. Am I allowed, do I get the free question from this?
Free question? Do you have like?
Excuse me. Because I have the studio stream.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll say that
Alright.
works for this.
Okay, so you could I just ask for like more clarification? Like, does it just if any two people telepathically communicate, or if they share thoughts, or how specifically does the telepathic interaction need to go in order for it to spread?
That works for me. It would appear that both sides need to be telepathic in order for this to work. And they need to initiate telepathic communication. Now, that's something that is very easy to do as on Beta Z. That is like the idea of initiating telepathic communication can almost be as benign as locking eyes with someone.
Right, and that only requires one person to do it, right? It doesn't require both of them to agree to it.
Well, I said it requires the two-way communication.
Okay, so it does need two-way communication.
But as I said, on Beta Z, that is super easy to do.
All right.
Like that happens all the time. It is like meeting a stranger on the street and locking eyes with them.
Cool. I guess I'll tell the USS Jita and the Beta Z doctor from earlier.
Who are you contacting first?
Let's inform the Beta Z doctor.
So, so Dr. Niano appears on screen, and he says, Doctor, have you made any progress? And he looks tired. He looks so tired.
We have, sir. Excuse me. We have, Doctor. According to our research, it appears that it spreads through two-way communication among telepathic individuals.
Well, what does?
GM, what is it?
As I said, it's not a disease. It's not like a virus or a bacteria or anything. It's somehow this telepathic communication is initiating some form of neural degradation.
Yes. This contact between I don't know if you can call them infected individuals when it's not a disease, but contact between an individual with this condition and an individual who does not have this condition leads to it spreading. The condition appears to cause I'm sorry, I cannot speak. The condition appears to cause neural degradation, and that appears to be causing their behavioral changes.
Well, we've encountered neural degradation disorders that have similar effects to this, but nothing that's ever been contagious.
It is alarming. I know, Commander.
It's yet we're currently no closer to finding a proper treatment for this. And it's been, let me see, and he looks at something on his terminal, and let me just think of it. It's it's been 54 hours since this whole mess began.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is the first step, sir. I'm sorry, this is the first step, Doctor. Sooner or we are now that much closer to finding a cure for this condition. Don't give up hope now, sir. We're finally making good progress.
Yeah, suppose you're right. I suppose you're right. Yeah. So, the good news is, Doctor, now that you know that this is a neural degradation, you could start looking into it a little bit more to determine exactly what it is. Because now you know how it spreads. Now you gotta crack what it is.
Alright.
And this is going to be an extended task.
I have, Lab Rat, which is, was due, blah, 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 blah. Because of this, they're extremely familiar with the equipment and capability of labs on board the ship. When attempting an extended task while using the laboratory, the character gains 1 progression effect.
Yep, that works. Basically, progression is like vicious. But for your role. But for, like, extended tasks.
Alright.
So I am gonna say that to work this out is a reason medicine, difficulty of 3.
Yep.
Work track of 10, magnitude of 3, resistance of 2.
Gotcha.
And I'll say, for the sake of it, you are working in a lab.
Right. Alright, so what am I rolling?
Reason medicine, assisted by the ship's computer's medicine.
Does research still apply here? As focus?
Yes.
And I will spend a momentum to get 3 dice. And just roll. Yeah, that's not bad.
Well, that was, you needed 3 successes, so that works. Ship's computer's medicine? Someone? Please?
Yeah, I'll do it. Did you say computer's medicine?
Yep. Nice. That is, you have gained 2 additional momentum. Is Jacoby there?
I don't know.
Huh?
I said I don't know.
Huh. I guess I'll deal the cards to him.
He should be at 5.
Huh?
I said he should be at 5 because he was at 4 and I spent 1 and then we gained 2.
Oh, okay, so it should be 5. So roll 5 challenge dice.
Alright.
Sorry, 7. 7 challenge dice. Because it's 2 plus your discipline.
Ooh, that's not very good.
You could spend a momentum, bring you back down to 4, and re-roll those zeros.
Yep, I'll do that.
Nice. That is 1, 2. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Brought down by 2 for resistance. That's 8 work. So that's a breakthrough.
Awesome.
As you're working it out, and again, as far as you can tell, there's nothing that's ever been, there's nothing like this that has ever been contagious like this. So you're starting to look in other places.
Okay.
So now you're down to only difficulty 2. Oh, by the by, another 6 hours goes by.
Alright.
So we'll spend the momentum to make that 3.
Okay, you're down to 3 momentum.
4.
No, we were at 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Alright. Well, it's only difficulty 2, and I'm being assisted by the ship, and my reason medicine is 16 plus a
so
focus.
first off-
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it to spend momentum.
So hang on. What I am going to do, however, is I'm going to spend 3 threat, and I am going to increase the complication range by 2.
Alright, well...
As you are now... you've been up for a while.
Yeah, in that case, I will spend 1 momentum, because with cautious, I get to reroll if I fuck up.
And it's only difficulty.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I can reroll 1 of those, right?
Yes, you can.
Alright, I will reroll 1 of those zeros. Oh, that's not too bad.
Easy lemon squeezy. Will you use those 2 momentum we gained right there to negate the 1 Bosch that we have?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
There
roll
you
the
go.
ship's computer's medicine, Captain.
Yep.
Cautious, but the cautious trait is just such a good trait.
Okay, so you don't get any momentum out of this, but you don't complicate either.
Yep.
Roll your 7 dice.
Yep.
That's 2.
I will spend a momentum to reroll all those 3, or is that necessary?
Or you could spend 1 just to get 1 more work done, and that's all you need, really.
Alright, then sure, we can do that.
So that is 2, 4, 6, 7 with the 2 resistance. That is, that's 5 work. You get another breakthrough and a breakthrough for completing the work track. That's all 3 breakthroughs. So you're starting to go on other paths, and then on a hunch, you decide to start looking through. Neurological degeneration disorders that aren't contagious, because it's just interesting how Dr. Yano mentioned that they've had similar things like this before, but nothing contagious. So you start looking through it, and there it is. The readings match up perfectly. These people are coming down with what is known as Dennerig's disease. It's a rare affliction that only is supposed to affect 1 in every 100,000 betazoids, and it's a late life sort of deal.
Oh, it's like basically Alzheimer's?
Right, but the big difference is, unlike Alzheimer's, it's rare. This is something that's rare. But again, it's normally not contagious. It's a condition. It would be like if all of a sudden one day Alzheimer's became contagious.
Well, that's pretty fucking scary to think about.
The good news, I'll give you, however, this. There's also you spent another 6 hours, so you're at. Boy, I kind of.
No, we're gonna spend no momentum to make that 3.
Okay, you're down to no momentum.
Alright, yeah, so what? You can net this for something like 12, 15 hours? I lost count.
Yeah, I think you're at 20. Or I think you are at 18 hours.
18, yeah, 18 sounds right.
18 hours. So there's some. Actually, no, it is. Sorry, it is 15. So there's some good news and bad news. The good news is it's actually treatable.
Oh, that's excellent.
It takes some time, and it takes some very special medication to do it. But it takes some purpose-made medication to treat it. But given a couple months of treatment, Dennerig's disease is absolutely treatable, and you can be cured. The bad news is it's a 2-month-long treatment that requires medication that they don't keep in a huge supply because it's a rare disorder.
Alright, I I will contact, oh, sorry, what's the doctor's name? I'm sorry. What was the doctor's name again?
Dr. Niano.
Niano. I will contact Dr. Niano, to tell him things.
And you contact him, and you see a dark room, and then a light turns on, and a yawn. He says, "Yeah, I'm up. What is it?"
Yeah, me too, Doctor. I've been at this for something like, I don't know, 15 hours. The good news is, we figured it out. Or we should have figured it out. Are you familiar with a condition called Dennerig's disease?
Dennerig's disease. Yeah, it's wait, is that what you think this is about?
That's what these computer screens are telling me. It appears to be some form of the disease that has become contagious.
Oh, well, that's just great. Oh, that's everything I wanted to hear today. And yeah, you don't have to be empathic to hear the sarcasm behind that.
Sir, I know it's hard to be optimistic, but there's plenty of good news here. This is entirely curable. All of these people with the right medication will be back on their feet in only a few months. This outbreak can now be contained.
Yeah, it's, I just hope we have that long.
The Federation will make sure. How much medicine do you have to treat this disease?
We have enough.
Could you treat everyone afflicted, or do you require?
We have enough stores to treat maybe 2,000-3,000 people on a good day.
And how many are infected?
Thousands by now. Tens of thousands, probably. And it could only get worse if we let this fester.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well, GM, do we have the ability to replicate this, medicine on our ship?
Yes, you do. You do absolutely have the ability to replicate this medicine on your ship. And in fact, if you send the information over to the Jita, they could probably do it too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Not to worry, I would advise you set your replicators to immediately start creating this medicine. And our ship and USS Jita will do so as well.
Right. It's what I remember of the treatment for Dennerig's diseases is right. It's not exactly the easiest thing to synthesize, but we'll make as much as we can.
Yeah. If that's not enough and the condition comes worse, I am sure other planets in the Federation will assist.
Right. Of course. In the meantime, man, I think I'll send out the notifications to all the night shifters, and then I need to get back to bed. I'm sorry, I have had no sleep. I suggest you get some too.
I will sleep when this is over, sir.
Well.
And then, yeah, I'll hang up, and then...
Well, the great houses bless you.
May the great houses bless you too, sir. She says, like, unsure of herself. And then, good night, and then hangs up. Right, so I'll send that information over to the Jita, and then
as you do, Nurse Zerothrak approaches you. He says, "It's now a bad time."
No, it's not. What appears to be the problem?
Oh, no problem right now. just thought I'd update you on the commander's condition.
Oh, yeah, how is he?
There's currently no change in his condition. We've been detecting low-level neural activity. His neural activity has been rather low, but hopefully we should be able to bring him out of it within a week. I think this kind of neural strain he's taken is absolutely treatable, Doctor. I just wish I knew what brought it on so suddenly.
It does seem odd that it happened almost at the same time that we learned about the outbreak on Beta Z, but we were light years away. And Jim, are there any Beta Z crewmen on our ship?
Currently there are not.
And no other members of the crew have shown any symptoms. In fact, there aren't even any Beta Z on the ship, so I don't think the two events are...
What?
I just said, despite seeming similar, I don't think what happened to Valak and what's happening on Beta Z are related.
I don't know. Keep an eye on it. I'll get back to monitoring him then.
Yes, and I am going to take a cup of coffee. And I think that's the end of that scene.
Yes, it does. And if you had a momentum to lose, you would have lost it, but you didn't. So we are going to cut back down to the surface of Beta Z, where Jueza, Luxana Troy has been talking your ear off for the last 3 hours. About the
And I'm eating some Hosprat as I listen. You know, Luxana, I don't know if anyone's ever told this to you, but you seem very shy. You really should open up more.
Shy?
Oh my god.
Well, you might be the first person who has ever said that to me. Now, here's the well, again, I have to ask the question, Jueza, do you actually believe that?
He doesn't believe it, but he's trying to
Okay.
basically
Let's roll, buddy.
interest her.
You silly bitch.
Let's roll. Let's roll, bucko.
Basically, he's trying to seem interesting.
Did you just call him a fucko? It's a bit mean.
It's my favorite. It's like one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite insults. Okay. Where was this? Okay. Gonna roll. Give me a presence command roll. Opposed.
Oh god.
Oh man.
Command.
Oh god. Although.
I'll give you a threat for an extra die.
Okay, and I will immediately throw that back at you to increase the complication range by 1.
Okay. Can I use interrogation as a?
No. Nice try.
Yeah, I'd like to see someone try to interrogate Luxana Troy.
So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna spend 2 threats.
She's
to kill...
interrogating him. He's resisting interrogation.
I'm gonna spend 2 threat to kill that complication I generated, and she does actually roll 2 successes on that 5.
Just remember, there are only 4.
Huh?
Never mind.
So she actually does beat you. And she says, "Oh, now, no need to put on airs for my sake. I know that my I know that my talking can get a little bit long in the tooth, don't you know? But, it's all for the best. Now, have I told you about how the fifth house came to be and how we did get the famed Chalice of Rix?
You know, I was just wondering about that.
Well, it's actually...
You truly must be a mind reader to know that I was wondering about that.
Oh my god. Are you lying through your teeth again?
Yes, but I'm telling her what she wants to hear, so I suspect that she won't argue too much.
She's an empath, you silly tit.
It's like trying to beat Superman in a staring contest. You can't lie to an empath.
Oh my god. Well, the problem though is that actually works. You're massaging her ego. So, well, it is quite the fascinating story. You see, we disbanded the fourth great house of Beta Z through a rather comical series of circumstances. One of my great ancestors managed to disband the fourth house and gained their chalice, instating themselves as the fifth great house of Beta Z, the holders of the fifth chalice. Now, there have been many who contested that over the years. The fourth house recently resurfaced about 100 years ago, and have been trying to regain favor of the Chalice of Rix ever since. But this year I will be bringing it back to the Pillars of Rix to undergo a ceremony that we hold every few years. And I wouldn't mind too terribly to have such a strapping man as you accompany me.
That sounds wonderful. Can I, will we be bringing Mr. Holmes?
Oh yes, of course. He follows me everywhere. He does, he does all the carrying and the like. Wait, hang on. Oh, you dog! She says with a wry smile on her face.
Hmm?
I assume you had some double meanings behind that, correct, Jueza?
Oh, Jueza just liked Mr. Holmes because he keeps serving him all these foods, so he actually really does.
Oh, I thought you were making double talk. Okay, never mind. Ignore that. He says, yes, well, he is a marvelous cook, and Mr. Holmes nods. And he just sort of gives a, like a sort of an I know look.
But now, you were saying, I think we were talking about sacred reefs and restoration.
Oh yes, of course. And Mr. Holmes walks into the next room, and he comes back holding a case with the Starfleet insignia on it. You recognize it. It's your rifle.
Ah, my properties come. I feel so much better. It's really like a security blanket for me.
Oh, a security blanket?
Oh yes. I just don't feel right when I'm too far away from my my security blanket here.
Well, I suppose we might as well be off. It's only a day until the festivities begin, and we must begin making our way to the Pillars.
Well, unfortunately, we can't leave right now. My ship.
Nonsense! she laughs. He says, "It's always a good idea on Beta Z to arrive fashionably early. Isn't that right, Mr. Holmes?" And he nods.
Oh, but we can't leave quite yet. We're just about to have that next course. And boy, I'm real hungry right now.
"Oh, I suppose one more course couldn't hurt." And she
Of
turns
course.
to Mr. Holmes. He says, "Would you be a dear and fetch us some more?" And he just nods again, and he just shambles out the door.
And now, if I remember right, there's a little chime that you ring while we eat.
Ah, you remember. You must be very well studied on Beta Z customs.
Oh, of course. I pride myself on knowing about all cultures, really.
Well, how refined you are. I must say, your captain must have very good taste.
Not really, but I mean, he got lucky and got me.
This bitch, I swear to God. Yes, I'm referring to both of them.
Ah, well, he must be a very lucky man indeed.
Oh, yes. And let me tell you, he just doesn't appreciate my talents. It wears on me day and night that he doesn't see my potential.
Oh, it's a shame that such talent as yours is unrecognized. And she just sort of saunters over to you and she starts rubbing your shoulders.
Okay, Granted, are we gonna make this a two-parter by any chance?
I'm
I'd like to go to
Yeah.
bed within the hour.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and wrap it up within the next, 30 minutes.
Okay, do you need me?
Huh?
Do you need me?
It's one of those things of, I don't have quite enough material to make this a two-parter.
Right, of course. Do you need me to be here?
No, if you want to go back up to, the ship and just sort of handle affairs.
That is acceptable, and I will sleep.
Okay,
How do you
have a
live
good
in
one,
touches?
Captain.
Have a just try not to do things.
Good night, Captain.
What would I do?
As the captain and Rugan go back up to the ship, and Rugan I assume Rugan will probably join the efforts in the medical and science labs.
Indubitably.
Awesome. So yeah, Luxonator is just sort of giving you a shoulder rub.
I'm sure that's the only thing she's rubbing.
Yep, this is...
What'd you say there?
Nothing.
She made a joke, and it was funny.
But yeah, I mean, my dear, with your connections, perhaps, you could have somebody talk to him and, tell him just how much of an asset I am,
Oh, I'm sure I could do something. I am one of the Federation's most accomplished diplomats, you know.
Oh, yes. And for someone with your accomplishments, well, I have no doubt that they would listen to every word that came out of your mouth with eager anticipation and follow them to the strictest letter.
See if someone around here finally understands. You know, you're much better than that Jean-Luc.
Yes. And I have more hair.
Whoa. I think this is going to be a fun weekend. Don't you agree, Mr. Holmes? And Mr. Holmes has walked back in with a small platter, and all he just does is he dings the bell. And now moving on to the next scene. So stupid. So stupid.
I'm just waiting for when he gets a subspace call next episode.
So we're gonna cut over to the Hadfield sickbay, as we're in a new scene now. So I remind you, the usages of your of your advantage have reset.
Right.
As now strolling into sickbay, hot off of a series of sort of diplomatic and administrative talks with the captain, is Rugan.
Hi, sir.
And yeah, Rugan, you see when you walk into the sickbay, you don't see the doctor because she's back over here, but you see the nurse standing over a comatose Commander Valak and two Betazoids in a medical confinement bay or quarantine.
Indeed. How are our patients, nurse?
Sorry, what did you ask?
How are our patients? I have a cold, so my voice is not quite pronounced.
No, it's fine. I had to turn you up. Well, not much progress yet. It's gonna be a slow recovery for him, I think. If you're looking for the doctor, she's in the back.
Thank you, nurse. How are our patients?
I already said.
Sorry, I think it glitched out for me because I got a couple of sounds from you and then not much else.
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said either.
I said not much change with Valak, but it's going to be a slow recovery for him.
Perfect, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, nurse. I shall go see the doctor. And with that, I shall do exactly that.
Yeah, I imagine she's like sitting there with like big dark back under her eyes, sipping a cup of coffee. What is it, Rugan?
Okay.
You're breaking up.
Fuck.
You okay there?
Two, three, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
1, 2, can you?
No,
Perfect.
You're breaking up again.
I can hear him alright.
Oh.
I hear like every third word.
Yeah, like that's it for me. It's I hear every like third word.
So good.
Maybe. Say more.
Alright. How about now?
Yeah,
Yes.
now you're
There
good.
you go.
You're golden.
Alright, so anyways, Rugan walks his fucking ass in there. Yeah, yes, doctor. How are things progressing?
Yeah, they're progressing perfect. Captain. Captain. Excuse me. Sorry, I am very tired. Lieutenant. Things are progressing perfectly fine. We figured out the cause, the condition, and how it spread. And even they don't have much medicine. The treatment takes quite a long time, but we are helping them replicate new canisters of medicine. Things are progressing as fast as they can. We can't do much more.
Interesting. Well, excellent work figuring this much out. Though I do wonder. This is, I wonder what could cause it to change so suddenly.
I haven't think. I was so laser focused on just making a cure, and I'm too exhausted to theorize more. If I had to, so Jim, isn't disease like just a condition that happens? A virus or a bacteria?
No, I remember I said earlier, it's not a virus or a bacteria.
Okay.
It is a condition that is somehow now as you figured it is a documented condition that has now somehow become contagious via telepathy.
I have no certificate claim, but if you ask me to take a shot in the dark, I would say the degradation of the center of their brain that causes the somehow triggered it to spread contagiously, but that's just a wild telepathy, most well understood part of.
I simply wonder whether or not there might be some sort of foul play involved, is all.
Now, if you want, I could let you make a reason medicine roll difficulty 2 to reach a new insight about this. Sort of just something that would have probably occurred to you as you're, with all the information you have now.
I mean, isn't his medicine like 2? Isn't his medicine like?
Yes, this is.
You're saying myself or the doctor?
Huh?
It sounds. I thought you were directing it at Rugan.
This would be a reason medicine task difficulty 2. The ship wouldn't help you, but Rugan can.
All right. Sure. I'll roll 2. 20 if my focus is 5.
I'll actually ping this to Rugan so that he can make sort of the hint drop that I think will help.
Marvelous.
Okay. What did you want me to roll?
Reason medicine.
I
know someone could kindly roll on my.
Psychiatry or research still?
Huh?
Do my focuses in psychiatry or research still?
I'll allow. No, I'm gonna say no in this case.
Okay. Alright, Rugan, can you roll?
Here, could somebody kindly roll on my behalf?
Yep.
Here, and does sensor operations work?
No. This is you two doing the Star Trek thing of you putting your heads together and coming up with an answer.
There you go.
I know, I'm just being an arsehole.
Alright. Yep. We got them on. I'll keep track of them. Alright, we succeeded and got a momentum.
There you go, Rugan.
Alright, GM, we succeeded the check.
Yeah, I know. I sent something to Rugan.
I wonder if this is based upon a previous existent strain, even, however rare it is. There must have been some people beforehand who had the non-contagious strand.
I'm not sure what you're getting at.
If it mutated from somewhere, then perhaps it mutated from one of them, our patient zero, so to speak.
Oh, yeah, that's possible, but there are thousands of patients with that disease on beta set.
I do.
We would be looking for a needle in the hay.
Well, I'll let you have this with your free question, Miss Ellie. It would explain two things. Well, sort of two things. It's, first off, who had the actual disorder before the outbreak happened is something of record. You can find that information. But the other thing that would stand to you, Doctor, is that would if you had a number of people with this pre-existing disease and they all came down and they all started becoming contagious at the same time, it would explain how the disease started breaking out all over the world at the same time.
Oh, right.
Because you wouldn't have just one patient zero, you'd have a number of them.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just not sure.
But the good news is you could track down who a number of those patient zeros are if you wanted a test case.
Okay. What would I? Okay. I'll do that. What do you want me to do?
In this case, it would just be a matter of reaching out to the doctor.
Okay. Do that. I'll contact Dr. Sorry. I'm exhausted. Real life.
Yeah, we're close.
All right, I'll reach out to him.
And you see the doctor standing there. It looks like he's probably just gotten changed into his scrubs for the day. And he says, Doctor, how can I help you? I have my people working on the treatment drugs as we speak, and from what I've heard from the USS Jita, so are they.
Yeah, I'm sorry you felt. This is Lieutenant Gunn, the Chief Science Officer for the ship. I think you would job.
Okay. Have you found out something new? Hello?
Sorry, I was trying to give it to you. Would you like me to explain?
Hang on a second, I think... Okay, can you repeat that one more time?
Never mind. Yeah, sorry, we think we patient zeros of this case.
Zeros?
Yes. It appears
You broke up again.
it appears
Is it just me, or...
Yeah, she's breaking up a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Awesome. Yes, we think multiple different people at the same time got this condition from around the world.
Huh. Can't imagine how that would be possible.
Yeah, that's why I was going to ask if we could investigate them. You have a much larger staff. You could cover all of them much quicker than we could.
All right, I'll see to it that the pre-existing patients are we get information on them as soon as possible. If it helps, I could give you the coordinates of someone to go down to.
Sure.
In fact, I believe that someone in my own medical center suffered from Denerigs, so I think I have a personal in for you, so to speak.
Alright. Well, I guess me and Rugan will go down to meet them.
Alright. And, not to make you go through the whole transporter room, everything, bring you down to the planet's surface, and I'll throw you guys here. As you're standing in a room and you see you're standing in a quarantine medical facility, white walls, the whole 9 yards, and sitting there behind a medical quarantine field is a rather frail looking old man.
Alright. Hello, sir. I'm a Starfleet doctor. May I have a moment of your time?
Whatever.
I understand that you have Denerigs disease.
Who cares what I've got?
Well, I care what you have, sir. I'm sorry, what am I supposed to be doing here? We think he's a patient 0, so we're talking him to...
You could try to see, because you've only met people who are infected after who not infected. You've only dealt with people who have been induced with the condition after the fact through the telepathy. If you would examine this guy, you might find out how the condition became contagious in the first place.
Okay, so I want a tricorder scan of his brain.
Okay, give me Insight Medicine, difficulty 3. And Rugan can assist.
We don't have any momentum, but the game's almost over, so I'll spend the threat. Actually, we do have momentum,
game
but
should
whatever.
be over in 15 minutes.
Yep. The Hadfield is checked, so you said it was difficulty 3? Well, we failed.
You can re-roll re-roll, remember?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yay.
It clicks for you. It looks like somehow some external psionic force. Again, it's a little fuzzy because psionics aren't really your area of expertise. It looks like some psionic force changed the condition, and whatever it was, it must have been rather large.
Okay.
And
do you mean like a large thing with psionic powers, or a large psychonic energy.
An energy, a large fluctuating wave of psionic energy that would affect any psionic. It would affect any psionic. Must have passed through the planet at some point in the last, at this point would have been 4 days.
Okay.
And it would cause it could cause a number of effects in psions. It looks like in this case the only effect it had on betazoids was inciting this weird strain of Daenerys disease.
All right. Is Ragan still here?
Yes, he is.
Yes, I am.
Wow, Lieutenant, would you look at this? It looks like some sort of psionic force went through this planet, and that must have been what caused this mutated form of the disease to spread.
Fascinating. Like jump-starting the angriest of cars.
Like putting too much air in a balloon.
Did you ever see the space talk video about bananas?
You'll have to tell me about it later because I am trying.
Okay, yeah, sure. Sorry. All right. Yeah. I haven't the faintest idea what could have caused this. We have found the cause to this disease, but not the thing. We know what the cause of this disease is, but it's only opened more question and answers.
Indeed. And at that moment, you get a call from the USS Jita.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor.
CMO Maselli here. Yes.
Doctor, this is Commander Amy Breyer from the USS Jita. I have good news for you. The cavalry has arrived.
Oh. Wonderful. Hopefully we can start treating these people in large numbers. We believe this was caused by some sort of fluctuating wave of psionic energy, that passed through the planet, and that somehow caused this mutated form of Daenerys disease to appear. So I believe we should assemble a team to search for this wave, or figure out what caused it if it no longer exists.
Well, I'll see to it that Starfleet Command is informed of that. If what you're saying is true, this could be a serious matter indeed.
Yes, it could.
Well, I suppose I do have further good news for you, Doctor. Now that backup has arrived from Starfleet Medical, I'd say we have everything under control here.
Well, in that case, I think I am going to go get some sleep.
Well, you've earned it.
I guess I have. My own discomfort is secondary to knowing that these people are finally safe and will soon be all. I'm sorry, I cannot speak today. My discomfort is secondary to knowing that these people will soon be cured.
Only there were more like you in the service, Doctor.
Thank you, Commander. That is a high compliment.
Anyhow, I now have to go. The captain is working to coordinate the Starfleet medical teams, I have to go to a senior staff meeting. Anyhow, hope you enjoy your rest, Lieutenant. Commander Breyer out. And the comms channel cuts. So, I would like to cut to just a little bit later. Everyone else has moved back up onto the ship. However, walking through the park, it's been a couple of... is now Jueza and Luxana Troy, and Mr. Holmes is Mr. Hum is sort of off in the background, not talking, but gesturing to some other Betazoids. Says, well, I suppose it is time for you to go. I do hope you enjoyed the festivities at the Pillars of Rix.
Oh yes, it was most pleasing, especially the company.
Well, I suppose it is time for you to be off then.
And I do hope that you will talk to your contacts about helping my captain better utilize his large assets that he has around him.
Oh my god.
We'll see. I have to admit, Mr. Jueza, you have been fun, but I don't know. Something about you is just not sitting quite right. You're too easy. I like a challenge, you know?
I think the captain is absolutely a challenge compared to Jueza.
You know, that does remind me, perhaps you yourself should go and maybe talk to the captain. He does present a challenge for many aspects in his life that just begs to be worked on and fixed by someone as capable as you. In fact, I don't know of anyone else in the entire universe who could help our captain more than you could with those caring and loving hands of yours.
Well, I'll have to think about that. Now, if you don't mind, it is it is time for me to go and have some lunch. If you would bring it around, if you would bring our transport around, Mr. Hom, and he just nods and walks away and lops away slowly. Said, I think it's about time for you to be on your way. I know how important your duties are.
Yes, ma'am.
And
It was lovely talking to you, ma'am, as he kind of does a little bow and turns to walk away.
And a couple minutes later, you beam back up to the Hadfield, and we will cut to this map for the final scene. As hang on, let me find it. I want to be on the token layer for a moment. You guys are over here. As you are now, you guys are all on the bridge. If you want to say any final words before we close out the episode.
I don't have anything to say. In fact, I think I'm just gonna, if this is it, I'm just gonna hop off and go to bed.
Okay. And so here we are as the, you have received your further orders. You are to proceed back to Starbase 211 to receive the proper travel orders that you would have gotten earlier before your little diversion, as now the cavalry has arrived, as 3 more Starfleet medical vessels drop out of warp and start making for standard orbit. You might not have solved this problem in its entirety, but at least now you've given the people of Beta Z a fighting chance. And that is where we end the episode, burning at both ends.
Wrong theme.
So, while this isn't going, I'm going to stop the recording now.